Hello, and today I thought I would look at how you should calculate your rate card because I think it's something which is vital to every agency, but not always given the care and attention. And if you choose the wrong rate card, you're always going to be struggling to make a decent margin. So I thought I'd break it down into its component parts. Um, the key assumptions. Let's go back to basics. To charge per hour, we need to cover the cost of the salary of the people we're employing, and we need to cover the overheads of the business, and we need to make a margin on top of that. So this is the assumptions here. So first assumption is what's the overhead cost. I've put a little help here to figure out what your overheads are as a percentage of staff. So simple P&L, and then what what overheads are as a percentage of your staff costs, because we have to cover those on top of staff costs. Got a target margin in here, so let's say we want to make 20%. Not unreasonable. That's a standard target for every agencies. How many weeks holiday? So let's say we've got 5 weeks holiday. That changes the number of working days that we can charge per people, which is vital. In the UK, we've got a national insurance allowance. This is the latest one, a national insurance rate. It's currently 13.8. From April, it will go up to 15.05%, I believe. So let's just toggle that. And then hours in a working day. Some agencies have 8, 9 till 6, some 7.5, some 7. So let's go for the lower amount. And this is important because one of the key factor, salary has an important part to play. I'm not downplaying it, but probably the most the variable bit which has the biggest impact is how many hours there are to spread the cost over and to make the profit in. So the more holiday, the shorter the working day, the lower the utilization, the fewer hours you have to charge, the higher your rate card needs to be to make money. It's kind of, it goes up, one goes down. There's a direct link there. So in here we have a number of roles, let's say 70 down to 20. Salary costs, so don't forget national insurance, because you can see it makes a big difference. The overhead cost at 26%, which is a strange figure. Let's say we go back to 40%, goes up, so we've got more overheads to cover. So the total cost of employing this person in this role is not just 70,000; it goes up to 110,000 because we have to cover costs, we have to cover national insurance, we have to cover overheads. Client utilisation, which is an important one. How busy are we going to be working? And what we often find is that the more senior the person, the more they have additional responsibilities which aren't directly working on client business, the lower the utilisation is, and therefore the higher the cost. The more difficult it is sometimes to justify that cost as well. So it's a real balancing act. But let's say it's, for this role, it's 60%. 3 days out of 5. 2 days out of 5 will be spent doing other things or not working on client business, which is the important thing. The vital thing here is this is about client utilization. It is not about how busy you are doing new business or training or admin, raising invoices or going to team meetings. It's about working on client business because that's what we're charging for. Then the maths behind that is, let's work out how many days 60%, 5 weeks holiday is. And we have to charge the cost per day of this 110,000, 111,000 is 814. If we want to make a 20% margin, then we need to charge nearly over £1,000. You probably would round that to 1,000. The cost per hour, at a 7-hour day is £145. If it's 8, that will go down to 127. So this is all kind of automated, so we don't have to work it out bespoke. That person gets a pay rise and goes up to 75,000, then obviously their cost per day goes up. The charge out rate that we would need to charge for them to still make a 20% margin will go up as well. So I think it's really useful in terms of understanding the real basics of an agency system which charges per hour. And there's a whole argument about value pricing, which takes this largely out of the ballpark. But if you're charging per hour, then you need to understand your cost per hour. You need to understand what you need to charge in order to cover your costs, and most importantly, what you need to charge in order to make your target margin. and how dependent it is on utilization. The busier you are, the lower your rate card can be. But the busier you are, or the busier you think you are going to be, let's say we think we're always going to be busy 80% of the time. And so, hey presto, we can afford to charge 820, which is much more acceptable, much more palatable. But actually, if we only work 40% of the time, then on client business and charge out, then our charge out rate is based on spreading that cost and making that profit over twice as many hours as we are actually doing. So you have to be realistic about this. If you put that unrealistically high and it's out of kilter with your performance or how busy you have been, then you are always going to be struggling to make money. And that's a handicap you don't want to hobble yourself with. So it's important to be honest with yourselves about how busy you are on client business. So that's my rate card calculator. It's a really simple way of doing a little health check on your rate card. So by all means, if you're interested, let me know and I'll send you a copy. It's available in pounds, dollars, and euros. And we'll give you the charge out rate per day and per hour that you will need to charge. So it's a really good way to compare your existing rate card to your current rate card. Little bit to end. If you have a blended rate, then please think about changing to a rate card for individuals. Maybe just look at your senior rate card as the first step to that. All right. Thanks a lot. Bye for now.